What's up, how you guys doing? My name is Jamar Pinkston, aka Church, as you can tell by the shirt. I'm here in St. Louis, Missouri, representing my shop where I'm the head barber at, TKO, and we are best known for our creativity. Anything that anybody wants, we can do it. Bring in a picture, I got a beautician that can do it. Bring in a design, I can do it. You got a certain type of braids you want, our braiders can do it. Our creativity surpasses anybody else in St. Louis, Missouri. And guess what? I'm one of the co-owners of the shop. Well, I was born in Itta Bena, Mississippi, but I was raised here in St. Louis, Missouri. I actually got my career started because I was in church. I'm actually a PK kid. That's where the name Church came from. My dad is a preacher, and I was in church. And this guy, who's like my big god brother, he was paying his tithes and offering, and he pulled out a stack of money. And I looked at him like he was a drug dealer, because I was 14 years old, and I saw him pull out this money, and I asked him, "What do you do?" And he laughed, and he was like, "I'm a barber, little bro." And I was like, wow. So from that moment, I knew that I wanted to try it out and see what it was like. So at 14, I started cutting my friend's hair and doing things like that. And yeah, I kind of butchered them, but I got better at it. And you know, I stuck with it, and I became one of the coldest barbers in St. Louis. And you know, that's pretty much how my career got started. You know, plus I got tired of my dad trying to give me those kitchen cuts and me getting talked about at school. So that definitely was another big influence. So I would definitely say those two are my biggest influences on how I got started with my barbering career. How did I get started in battles? It's actually a pretty simple story. The head beautician here, T, I was actually at church, and I got a text from her, and she sent me a picture of this flyer. This guy had apparently came into the shop and wanted whoever to sign up for the competition that he had. So she referred me, took a picture of the flyer, sent it to me, no questions asked. I told her to sign me up. I didn't know when, where, whatever, but I knew that I wanted to do it because I'm a big competitor. I love competing, and I knew that this was my big break to start competing and challenging other people in St. Louis. So that's pretty much how I got started battling. I've only been in one competition, surprisingly. You know what? I actually did. I won first place in my first battle. So right now I'm 1 for 1. That's got to count for something, you know? So. Oh man, okay, funny story. I actually do have a pre-battle ritual. I actually have, in the shop, they call me Charlie. I call them my angels. I'm the only barber, I'm the only male who works in the shop full of women. So, you know, I like to call them my angels, like Charlie's Angels, the movie. So, I always have one of them, whoever's available, to give me 5 shampoos and 3 conditioners of tea tree before I compete. It's only happened one time, but I won first place, so I'm definitely going to keep up that ritual and see if I can win again. We'll see what happens. I am best known for my speed, my razor game, and my precision. I'm a perfectionist, so I really care about detail and accuracy, but on top of that, I'm not gonna have you in the shop for 10 hours. You know, I'm not gonna be on your head for 45 minutes and you just getting an even cut or a Covades or something like that. You know, my speed, the fact that I definitely am skilled with the razor. I get into those tight spots, I make your hair look flawless, not a hair out of place by the time you get out my chair. And the fact that I'm very precise and very accurate with every single cut. Just because you're the 8th person in line, that doesn't mean you go get a half quality cut. Every person gets great quality cuts. So those are the 3 things I'm known for. My speed, my precision, and my razor game. Do I have people who travel? Yes. I've had people come from Illinois. I have people who come from Illinois, North Dakota. I've had someone come from Georgia before, all the way, because they heard about me from one of their friends, and they came and got their hair cut. And you know, I ain't gonna name drop in the video or do nothing like that, but I do have some pretty prominent comedians and entertainers who, one comes from Los Angeles, California, and the other one comes from Houston, Texas. And nobody else touches their head but me. So, yes, I think I have people who travel. Let's see. I actually have two designs that I am most proud of. I had two boys come in one day. They were from a group home, and so they wanted to get their hair cut, but they also wanted to get designs. So it was okay. I told them I'd do it, whatever they wanted. And one of the little boys, he actually got a lizard put in his head. He said, I wanted my favorite animal. I was like, what's your favorite animal? He was like, a lizard. I'm like, a lizard? He was like, a lizard. I'm like, all right, a lizard. So I put a lizard in his head. He was probably about 14, 15 years old in high school. And he told me, this is word for word what he said. He was like, hey Church, can you put my shoe in my head? I'm like, what? And so he was like, can you put my shoe in my head? So he took his shoe off and showed me the Converse sign. He was like, can you put this in my head? I'm like, do you really want that? So he said, yeah. I took an hour and a half and put my heart into that design to make him happy. And by the time he was through, the look on his face when I gave him the mirror, the look on both their faces when I gave them that mirror, and you know, watching them smile and knowing that they don't get to smile like that often, you know, no amount of money can match that. So those are definitely the two designs that I am most proud of. Am I the best? Put me on the show and I prove it. I can show you better than I can tell you. Craziest thing that ever happened in the shop.
Prank wars.
Prank wars. Prank wars. Okay. That's funny because that's the craziest thing that happened in the shop. One day, me and one of the beauticians got into a prank war, and I took one of her souvenirs. It all started with lunch and how she owed me lunch, but she played me and it spiraled out of control. Before we knew it, we were in the middle of a prank war. And I took one of her souvenirs and I went outside and I took a piece of tissue as well. And I set the tissue on fire, but I made her believe that it was her little souvenir. And then like that, I made the ashes blow past the door and she was all upset and distraught. And by the time I came back in to tell her I was just playing, the trophy that I won in my first barber battle, that I won for one in, that I told you about, she took the trophy and introduced it to gravity from a 3-story window. And yeah, my trophy ended up meeting the ground a few seconds later and it shattered into a million pieces. And you know, I can't even be mad at her. It was my fault. I started it, and I'm not, to this day, I'm still not mad about it because I mean, I got the pictures and the memories of it. But yeah, my little trophy is gone bye-bye, and kind of hurt about it. Give me a minute. I think I'm tearing up, but no, I was just playing. No, but I am kind of sad it's gone, and she felt really, really bad. But it was a fun day. We all have fun up in here, and you know, it happens. You know, my trophy just happened to be a casualty in the midst of a prank war. Prank war. How did I become an owner? I actually became an owner with T, as I said before. We've known each other for maybe about 2 years, and she found out that I was actually, when we first met, I told her that I was a barber. She told me she was a beautician. I didn't believe her, she didn't believe me. We thought that, yeah, okay, it sounds good, but we're gonna really see what it's about. So she borderline stalked me on Facebook, and she found out that I was pretty good, you know, Church, your barber's favorite barber, hashtag Team Church. Mr. Faith, you love braids, game on lock. It's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle, ain't nobody touching me. You know, so I'm just serious. But yeah, she found me. She liked my work, and so we started working together. She told me that in the process of finding my own shop, come work with her. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. I wasn't in the shop at the moment, so I decided to work with her. I figured it would keep a little money in my pocket while I looked for another shop. And she told me that she would help me out, but only if I came to work for her. So she kind of, I guess, blackmailed me into doing it. And so I did it. And all the customers, I was there for about 3 months, and then the customers started telling both of us that we should become business partners. So, you know, we kicked the idea around. And it didn't take long before, you know, I watched her and saw that she was very business minded, and of course she had clientele through the roof. She saw all the clientele that I brought into the shop and saw that I didn't have like any crazy clients or anything like that, and that I meshed very well with everybody, including my clients and the beauticians. And of course I'm business minded as well. So in 3.5 months, at the age of 24, I became co-owner of one of the best shops in St. Louis, which is known as TKO Beauty and Barber Salon.